Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Joshua Water in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I have to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the apostles, to the archangels, to the women and children around the world in Paleo Hebrew. Slakia. Kal Halayam La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Ha Rokah Kodash Mahamah. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to my apostle, Harwam. Salutations to the archangels in the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, well, another video popped up. But I'm gonna just play only a little bit, and then I'm gonna play another video because it shows something in this video that's very interesting for our people, the so-called Negros, Latino, and speckled birds, to be aware about. Okay, it says here, what the hell did Bill Gates tell Trump? Okay, and to tell this lesson, every man's work shall be manifested. Manifest, Slovakia. Actually, it goes up to our people, but it's to show you how the wicked cannot even hide their deception, even when they try, right? So let me play it, and then we go into the scripture.
Something big was about to happen in Washington, and while the legacy media was keeping us distracted, the president has just fired CDC Director Susan Monterez.
Chaos at the CDC hours after refusing to leave her post as the newly appointed director. She's now been fired just weeks into her tenure. Dr. Susan Mornes. Her attorneys say she has been targeted by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for refusing to support unscientific directives.
Now, you might have seen some viral clips from her confirmation hearing.
Do you agree with the American Medical Association that there is no scientific proven link between vaccines and autism?
I have not seen a causal link between vaccines and autism. That is why I have no a priori prejudice against the mRNA platform or any other approach that is being taken to develop vaccines. And that is why we have safety and efficacy standards that the FDA puts in place for any of these medical product trials to ensure that anything that is being developed, we can have the confidence that we can put it in ourselves and our children, our family.
So, as you can see, she had polarizing opinions, but most people don't even know what kind of past Miss Monterez has. You see, before she took up the leadership role at the CDC, she founded and ran the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health, or ARPA-H for short. A lot of people don't know, but this agency, built under the Biden administration, is basically a healthcare version of DARPA. It's set up to continue high-risk, high-reward research, and we all know how dangerous that kind of research can be. Miss Monterez basically built that agency, so you can understand why people were baffled when the president nominated her for the role of CDC director. Another reason why people hate her is simply her passion for wearable health surveillance technology. Surely you remember how RFK Jr. has been talking about such devices.
Diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the Maha agenda, making America healthy again, and we are going to. My vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years. She comes to us from ARPA-H. She's a tech genius, and she's going to drive AI and modernize CDC.
Stop right there. Who's that? Who's that right there in the middle? Let's stop it right there, and let's move on to another video. Give me a minute. Right here.
This is the deadly mistake.
Oh, Slovakia, I don't control YouTube. Give me a minute, 'cause I gotta move it anyway.
What in the world did they just start?
Nope, give me a minute. Oh, let me start right here.
Area 51. They doctored photos. They wanted the public to believe it was aliens because that was less dangerous than revealing what they were really building during the Cold War. But here's where it gets even darker. Inside the Pentagon, there was a secret hazing ritual called Yankee Blue.
New commanders were shown fake alien aircraft and
Ah,
told if they
come
ever
on.
revealed the truth, they'd be executed. This wasn't just to fool the public, it was to keep their own people in the dark.
Now, what's insane is that this is far from the most troubling news I've read in the last 24 hours. I'm sure you know that they just appointed a
There we
new
go.
acting director for the CDC.
That Jim O'Neill will be the acting director of the CDC. He currently serves as the Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Look, folks, you're not gonna
There he goes
believe
again.
where Jim O'Neill comes from. He is a very, very close ally of Peter Thiel. He has run Peter's investment funds. In fact, he has run many projects for the billionaire. He even helped establish man-made islands that could float into international waters and where Peter Thiel could experiment with a new form of government. So basically, Jim is Peter's right-hand man, and now this guy is going to run an agency that has lost all public trust in the last 5 years. Do I have to spell out why this makes no sense at all? Now look, I praised RFK Jr. for firing Susan Monterez, and he even gave a proper reason for why she had to go.
Confirmed that we let go Susan Monterez yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it now.
Personnel issues, but the CDC is an agency that is very troubled. There's a lot of trouble at CDC, and it's going to require getting rid of some people over the long term in order for us to change the institutional culture and bring back pride and self-esteem and make that agency the stellar agency that it's always been.
But then why would you put a Thiel Foundation guy in the driving seat at a time when you need public support? I'm sorry, but this makes no sense to me because I know what to expect from people who are hired and controlled by Peter Thiel.
Note.
Okay, I'll stop it right there. I want to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13. Every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. Woo! And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. Right? That even goes to our people, so-called Negro, Latin American, speckled birds, and also to our people who are doing the work in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Men, women, and children, okay? I want to go to 1 Peter. Give me a minute. Yeah, I had to do this lesson as soon as I saw that. I said, wait a minute. That guy looks familiar. Chapter 1, verse 7. Let's go there. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold, that perish, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai. So you see, by us doing the work in the name of Yahweh Shai, by not giving up, by not giving in to what the Edomites are about to bring to this wicked world, right? The new world order. Even if some of us are going to be their lives, it's all good, right? Because when Yahushua comes back, he's the only one that can rise us from the dead. I want to go to Job chapter 23, verse 10. But he knows the way that I take. When he has tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Yeah, because Yahushua is only in charge, right? If he's going to put us through whatever he's going to put us, it's because he's perfecting us, okay? And you have to believe that and have faith that that's what is actually going on. Just like in training and boxing and wrestling or any other sport, right? You're training because you know that the better you get at it, the harder you train at it, the better you get, okay? You do the best of your ability. I want to go to Psalm 1:6. Give me a minute. Chapter 1, verse 6 it is? Yeah. For Yahweh Shai knows the way of the righteous, but the way of ungodly shall perish. Right? And these people that are in power are ungodly to begin with. Right? Now, you know they're playing a game that I fire so-and-so and I'm hiring so-and-so, you know, because I really care about the people, you know. All they're doing is playing with words, deception. I want to go back to 1 Corinthians. What happened? Chapter 3, verse 14. If any man work abides which he has built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. Yeah. If you're doing a righteous work, you'll be rewarded. Right? Look what happened to, what's his name again? Cain and Abel. Right? Cain refused to do the righteous act, and Abel did a righteous act. Right? So now you know where the spirit of the Edomites came from. It came from Cain. Verse 15, if any man work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss. But if he himself shall be saved, yea, so as by fire. Wow. So even through pain, right? Holding on to the name of Yahweh Shai, doing the work to the best of our ability, we will be saved. 17. If any man defiles the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy. For the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. And this is what the people in power want you not to remember, not to understand, and forget or let go of. They want to convince all of us through pain and believing us that if we don't accept their belief system, their science, right? That we have nobody else to save us. That they're the only ones that can save us, right? No, sirree. They cannot save us at all. Verse 18, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he might be wise. Yeah, don't accept the science or wisdom of this world, right? We go after the wisdom from above, not from below, in other words. Proverbs chapter 3, give me a minute. Verse 7. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahweh Shai and depart from evil. And boy, this is very evil what they want to bring to us, right? The MOTV, the charagma. That is evil, that is wicked, okay? That is treason. Verse 8, it shall be health to thy nibble and marrow to thy bones, right? So by refusing to take that which is wicked and evil, it is Yahweh Shai who will give us the new body, the new health, the new spiritual spirit, power, Superman power, right? The perfect body that can do the 613 laws that we cannot do with the sinful body. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, give me a minute, verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh Shai. For it is written, he takes the wise in their own craftiness. Woo! That is crazy but true, right? And I'll leave it with that, and I'll play this part, and then I shut it off. Here we
You
go.
said geoengineering. I don't do geoengineering. I do weather modification, and that difference is really important. Cloud seeding is a kind of weather modification, and it's weather modification because it's local in both time and space.
Now, next up, I want to talk about another situation that has left people speechless and way too afraid to ever step on a plane. It all began with these clips.
There. So as you can see, they're getting things ready, right, to bring in the Cashless Society and then to bring in the MOTV. That's what we're waiting for. Then you know that everything after that is going to go real fast because Yahweh Shai will be coming back. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.